Well, unfortunately, my tire plug did not work. And none of that is supposed to be in there. But we'll deal with that while the tire fills up with air. I'm going to use the Milwaukee M12 inflator, and we just need enough air to get it up to the garage. We're going to use the tire slime today, which I've never done before. See if we can fix this tire that way. So if you've never used the Milwaukee inflator, I'll put an Amazon link, but I love this thing. Just turn it on, set your pressure. We aren't going to put a whole lot in it because we're just going up to the garage and we'll have to drain it out. So let's say we want 8 pounds. Alright, so maybe a little bit more than 8. Should be good. Hi, and welcome back to Purple Collar Life. I'm Chad, and in today's video we are going to use the Slime 2-in-1 product on our tractor tire. Now, I've been to the tire shop lots of times with flat tires because of thorns, and they always say, do not use Fix-A-Flat, do not use slime on anything they're going to be repairing because it makes a mess of the inside of the rim and the inside of the tire. But when it comes to a tractor tire that's running through the woods all the time, I hope to not have to take this out to the tire shop, and I hope the Slime 2-in-1 works. So I've done some research. This does say it can be used on tractor tires, and it says to use approximately 16 ounces, which is half of this bottle. So if you follow the instructions, it says step 1, position the valve in the upper half of the tire. You can see I've got the valve stem up here towards the top. We're going to take the cap off, and then we're going to need to remove from the center of the valve stem the core. And they include a tool. It's actually inside the lid and it says tool, and it is a valve core removal tool. So you can see it right there, and it will allow you to twist the inside of the valve core out of the tire, which will release all the air. And you want to make sure you don't lose it, and that you've got the machine somewhere that the tire can go completely flat. So there's what that little core looks like. You see how quickly we're losing air in the tire there. Without the core, it goes really fast. The next step is to make sure you've really done a great job of shaking this. It says for at least 30 seconds, and then put the little piece of tube, which was in that slot, up onto the top. Then the other end of the tube is going up on the valve stem. And we want to squeeze half a bottle in. Really hard to tell how much is left because it creates a vacuum when you're not squeezing, and it's actually pulling the slime back into the bottle. So I'd rather do too much than not enough. You can see there's little bits of black stuff in there. I have no idea if that's pieces of rubber or some type of adhesive. Right, that feels like half the bottle. Reinstall valve core and then add air. This might be messy. Now that we've got the bottle off, we might be able to tell how much is left in it. Let it settle down here. We want to be down here to about the 16-ounce mark. Looks like we're still up here at 20 ounce, so we need to put more in. Tip the bottle upright. I guess upside down. What this is going to do is seal the tire from the inside. Once we get this all in here, we need to drive around slowly, let the inside of that coat the tire. If you drive too fast, centrifugal force will leave a big clump of it in one spot and it won't spread around. So you need to drive slowly. I think it says on the bottle for at least 1/4 mile. See where we are now here on the bottle. Alright, we're below the 16-ounce mark, so we should be good to put the valve stem back in. We're dripping. Here's a look at that valve stem. I'm going to screw it back in here. Tighten it up. I'm going to put all this away after we put some air in the tire. Once again, I'll put the Amazon link down below. This is the Slime 2-in-1 Tire and Tube Premium Sealant. Prevents and repairs flat tires. Seals for 2 years. Stops slow leaks. Safe and easy. You can see on the bottom there all kinds of things you can use it on: bicycles, motorcycles, tractors, trailers. It says not recommended for highway use, so this is not for in passenger vehicles on the road, but four-wheelers and tractors, golf carts, things like that are perfect for an application like this. Got the air compressor going, building us up some air. Should have plenty for a tractor tire. Put our cap back on, and we need to go for a little drive, at least 1/4 mile around the yard. Got some on my finger, so I just wiped it on the tire there. Also dripped a little tiny bit right there out of the valve stem. We'll be driving with the hood open. You can see I did clear out most of the mouse nest in there. In a recent video, I replaced the seat on my John Deere 2210. Something that, having done it now, was something I wish I would have done 2 years ago, messing around with that old seat that was falling apart. I need to do the same thing on the Workmaster here, so I'm going to look online, but I'd appreciate comments down below where to find a good seat for on this tractor. Now, this is not a typical pan seat like on the Ford 8N. It's got this unique spring system on it. I'm not exactly sure how it works or what it does, so if you guys know, leave a comment down below. I'd appreciate knowing what this type of seat is, how it works, and what the proper pan should be or seat should be for on this. I know this is an aftermarket seat and not the right one. I'd love to get the right one, so please leave those comments down below. I truly appreciate it. can see we only have 0.8 hours on this since we put the new proof meter on it. If you missed that video, I'll put a link up above. We're going to start this up and then drive around the yard to get that slime moving through the front tire, coating the whole inside, and then plugging. You can see where my plug is right down there in the tire. We want to do a better job of sealing that because the plug is not working. Power on, red light. Tack's working. We don't want to go too fast, so I'm using first gear. Just a nice leisurely stroll through the yard. Every time I see the leaves blowing out from under, I keep thinking it's mice running underneath, because typically when I start it up and there's a mouse nest, that's exactly what happened. Is mice fall down through and then they run out from underneath the tractor. So the leaves are catching my eye and making me think there's a lot more mice coming out. That video, I'll put a link up above. Looks pretty sharp there, new gauge. Working gauge, even more important. Well, hopefully this tire slime repair holds up better than the plug has. I'll keep you posted in future videos. In the meantime, appreciate if you'd give us a thumbs up for the video. Let us know if you've used tire slime on your tractor tires before and it's worked. And then also, don't forget, leave a comment if you're aware of what the proper seat is or seat pan for on that type of seat. And then if you could explain how that seat works or the benefit of it. I know it's something special, I just don't know that much about it. Thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. Leave those comments down below. Don't forget, if you have access to the hype button when you're watching the YouTube app, congratulations. Somehow YouTube has selected some people to have the hype button. We'd really appreciate if when you're clicking that thumbs up, you would also hype this video so that YouTube promotes it to a wider audience. Thanks in advance. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again the next time. I always feel like in this raised up spot somewhere there are mice living, and while I'm driving along they're gonna come out any one of these holes. Probably could use a new one of these bushings too. I'll look one of those up online once I know what this unique seat system is.